How's it going, guys? So, yeah, I'm here. And, I want to talk about something that, to me, is a little bit of an elephant in the room. And it's not what you guys think. I'm not going to talk about, you know what. The elephant in the room, to me, this entire time, when I say this entire time, I'm talking about since probably the year, I don't know, 2000, if not before that. There seems to be some sort of disconnect. What do I mean by disconnect? Well, there's a discussion that's being had about Israel and about the whole situation with the Arabs and the Jews, and I seem to be hearing two things simultaneously that don't really add up. When I hear Jews who call themselves pro-Israel, but they claim that there's that they want a two-state solution, right? They've wanted for the past, I don't know how many years, Israel to give up, I don't know, whatever part of the West Bank, what they call the West Bank, Judea and Samaria. They've wanted to internationalize Jerusalem. Maybe not, maybe yes, we don't know. There's been many variations, many iterations of this plan, this idea. Okay. And so these are the people that go and that negotiate with our cousins, right? The PA, whoever it is. And on the other side of the equation, you have people both in the media and other places who say stuff like, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And these are the people with whom we are, or not we, but the people who want the two-state solution are negotiating with. So now you could say to yourself, well, you need to understand, Svi, these are just, it's a negotiating tactic. Or in any negotiation, you're going to have one party that wants everything, and then the other party's offering half of everything. So, okay, let's go with that premise, right? So let's just say we go with that premise. Usually what happens is when one party wants everything, 100%, the other party wants to give up 50%, what happens? They meet in the middle and they get 75, right? Lest I remind you guys, I think something like 50% was offered to them, meaning 96% of what's called the West Bank was offered to them. They refused, they declined, right? Why? Because they want 100% not of what they call the West Bank. They want 100% of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, so for the past 23 years, 25 years, however many years, maybe 30 years at this point, since that offer, the mid-90s, let's say, so we're talking almost 30 years, there's been two parallel, simultaneous, but discordant discussions being had. One group is saying, or three groups, really. One group is saying, not 1 inch, I'm part of that group. Another group is saying, fine, 2 states. And another group is saying, the group that the 2 states people are talking to is saying, we want everything. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Usually in these kind of situations, like let's apply an analogy in business. Either people, these two groups that I just mentioned are talking past each other. Two out of these three groups. I'm gonna leave my group aside for now. Or the group that's offering 50% is just talking in code and actually agrees with the group that wants 100%, and in reality eventually wants to give the group that wants 100% everything they want. They're just colluding with the group that wants 100%. Again, if I didn't know any better, if I was just like somebody who just came from the outside and is observing some kind of a business negotiation, like a mediator of some kind, I would say this is a little bit strange. This whole dynamic, this whole rubric, this whole situation is a little bit strange. Again, one group is saying we want everything, another group is saying we'll give you half of everything, and they're talking to the group that wants everything and saying, well, here's half. The group that wants everything is saying no, over and over and over again. And the group that wants to give half keeps saying, we want half, we want to give you half, and they keep doing it ad nauseum. So either they're stupid, which maybe some of them are, or there's some kind of a plan here. There's some kind of a game here that I'm not privy to, ladies and gentlemen. Either way, it's not good for Israel. Either solution, either conclusion, let's say. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I find it to be a little strange. It's something I don't think I heard anybody even mention. Like I don't hear anybody talking about this. It's almost as if people are just like, they hear something, but they don't. It's like, again, they're not enunciating what they hear. Again, I go to these protests. Every time there's a flare-up with Gaza, I just hear these people yelling, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And then you have these docile Jews, two-state solution. Did you not just hear what they said to you? They want everything, and you're giving them half. You're trying to give them half. They don't want half. They want everything. If you're going to give them the half, you give them an inch, they'll take a yard. No. We'll just give them half, and we'll make sure that, they only take half. Ladies and gentlemen, they want everything. Something very strange. It's like, again, people are having two different discussions. Either they're talking past each other, or they're just having two different conversations. It's almost like a husband and wife who are like on the brink of, divorce. One is saying, or they're sitting in a family court, and the wife is like, I want everything. Husband's like, no, I'll give you half, but I want everything. And they're just like at this impasse, but it's not an even impasse because the wife is just talking through her attorney, but the attorney is not giving the message to the husband, right? It's a little strange, don't you think? If that would have happened. No, usually the husband gets the message. This is what the wife wants, right? The ex-wife. Whatever it is, and then there's some kind of compromise. Here there is no compromise. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a serious, serious problem. What is the solution to all of this? First and foremost, basically on a basic level, for us to realize that, hey, the people who want 100%, we have to realize that that's what, actually, first of all, acknowledge that that's what they want. Second part of that is they're not going to get what they want. They're not going to get what they want. Yes, one needs to know history, a war of narratives. Correct. Of course. So, they're not going to get what they want. If they're not going to get what they want, and it would be stupid to give them, not only would it be stupid to give them 50%, they're not even going to accept 50%, which we've seen. What does that mean? That means that de facto it's a zero-sum game. Which means that we, at the very least, they get nothing. I mean, they get to stay where they are, but as far as the state is concerned, they don't get a state. They get to stay where they are, and at the very least, we get, as is, at the very best, we get everything, which is the cradle of Jewish civilization, Judea and Samaria, and the rest of Israel. And these guys can say, well, we'll live under you, which I know they don't want to do. 2 million of them already do, as like a fifth column. My friend is saying Arab narratives based on Goebbels tell a lie often enough and becomes truth. Of course, that seems to be the run-of-the-mill for everything right these days. When it comes to, Shmovid, when it comes to, what for Shmovid, Same thing with this. It's just, and this is what kills me, man, because people know the media are lying to them when it comes to the topic that I just covered, but when it comes to Shmovin and everything else, all of a sudden they believe the media. Why? Because they were scared out of their wits. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm not going to get into it. Okay? Not going to get into it. It's a whole different discussion, even though it's related. So, my friends, there seems to be a discord. I don't know if I heard anybody talking about it. I don't think I have heard anybody talking about this, what I just described to you. How somebody wants 100% and we keep offering them 50. They refuse 50. They keep saying they want 100. We ad nauseum keep, again, the people offering 50, if I didn't know any better, are just, they eventually want to give them 100. They're just starting off at 50. They're saying, how about this? We'll give you 50 now and 50 later. You know? That's essentially what they're doing. If I didn't know any better. And maybe you could say, well, no, they want to keep Tel Aviv, and they want to keep their Tel Aviv and their Haifa. Ladies and gentlemen, you know something? Can I say something? A lot of these people who love their Tel Aviv and their beloved Tel Aviv and beloved Haifa, you know what they're doing now? They're leaving Tel Aviv and they're going to Berlin. The place where their grandparents and great-grandparents were incinerated. Or the regime that incinerated them. They're going back there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ridiculous. This is like going back to your abuser. Only a Jew can go back to his abuser. Only we are so capable of that. Same thing with the, you know what? Oh, take this drug that they just made. Ladies and gentlemen, they just gave you a bunch of crap that caused horrible things. Now you're going to take a drug that's going to... Give me a freaking break. Again, different discussion. My friends, we have to wake up to we have to actually listen to the things that people are saying. We have to listen to the demands that are being made. And we have to say to those of us who are offering to acquiesce to those demands, or 50% or whatever it is, hey, hello, what you're offering them is not what they want. What they want is, according to that song that I just heard today, they want Haifa, they want Tel Aviv, they want Golan, they want everything. They're not going to take anything less, ladies and gentlemen. So what do they now have now with Gaza 25%? How is that working? Exactly. How is that working? Well, they just quote-unquote elected, rather, they were selected for them, Hamas, 15 years ago, whatever this was, 18 years ago, going on 19. So, you know, it's working out wonderfully for them. See, to them, it's not about having any kind of government or anything that functions. To them, it's just about the fact that the Jews don't have it. We understand that. This is what these schmucks who are offering them 50% don't understand. We understand that. You and I understand that, Brian and Ilan. We understand it. We understand that. For them, it's just about us not having. They don't care what they have. They don't care if they live in their own garbage. They don't care. They don't care to have a government. They don't care if they live under some king, foreign king, or a king that's like what's his name, Abdullah, who's a Hashemite, and the rest of the people are Palestinians, the citizens. They don't care. They just care that we're out. If you ask them, you talk to them, they say, you ask them, how are you guys going to rule this place once we leave? Don't worry about it. It's not your business. Just leave and let us figure it out. They don't care. They don't care. It's not your business. It's none of your business how they're going to rule. That's what they'll tell you. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? Judging by how they operate, not much of it's going to come. You know? Yeah, the Jewish political left is naive, well-intended, but they're not only naive, they live in a bubble, you know? They live in a self-admitted bubble, you know? It's like the Johnny Cash song, one piece at a time, yeah. Anyway, guys, well, I've beaten this dead horse, but the point is, guys, there seems to be a discord. There seems to be two parallel discussions between groups. And again, either one group is just not listening, or they are listening and they're just trying to collude and sabotage. I'm talking about the Erev Rav among us. Anyway, guys, just some food for thought. Happy Tu B'Shvat, New Year for the trees, and Chag Sameach.